It is really about letting go and inviting the new. There's a beautiful word that's often used in Hindi, and many times Dari Janki would often remind us of this, and it's the word called chit. And chit can be translated into two things. One is that it's the awakened being. That's what chit is translated to. But chit could also mean the memory track. And there's such a strong connection between these two, that to live an awakened and aware life, to be in the moment, present to what the moment has to offer. One of our key responsibilities, in a way, is really to clean that memory track, because we hold many, many impressions on our memory track. But it's always a challenge. We all know that we need to let go of the past. We need to release ourselves of the past. But often we do struggle with that. And the influence of it does come up. Sometimes in our thinking, sometimes in our attitudes, sometimes even in our reactions to people. The emotions that come up as well. So it's a lot of deep work that we have to do in terms of clearing that memory track. And one aspect that I found useful, because I can't forget in a vacuum, in a way, and something that touched me very deeply many, many years ago when I was in Mount Abu, and Dari Prakashmani was sharing a class, and she shared in that class that when you extract the lesson, then what happens is that the past turns to love. And I love that in a way, because what our journey is, in a way, is to move from the various emotions and judgments and impressions we hold to a state of pure love, because that is our true state of being. That is our real state of being. So the reflection work that we do, the work that we do, in a sense, is so that we can move to that place of authentically being ourselves. And our authentic self is love. Our authentic self is peace. So it is a journey to that. So our day today is going to start off with reflecting, and we're going to reflect on our year. But before I get into our exercise for today, I would like to just share a little and invite, if any of you would like to share the exercise we did last night. I found it very, very useful and very beautiful exercise, in a way that how the image that we chose spoke so deeply to our internal process. And I think sometimes we're not always aware of what are the shifts happening inside, but an image or a piece of music or poetry can sometimes help us to connect with that. And so for me, I chose the keyhole. And what I liked about it, what it triggered for me in a way, was that I can see the light shining through. I may not see the whole picture right now, but I can see the light shining through, and I know there's light on the other side. And so just such a sense of a feeling of faith, and trust in the process of life, and in trust in the process of my own efforts, because I know there's light on the other side. And it created a feeling of victory for me. I think when Sister Devendri asked us to sum it up into one word, what that whole reflection emerged for you, I had underlined a few words for myself that stood out, but ultimately it was this inner personal victory, that I know there's light shining through, and I know I'm stepping into the light. And so a deep sense of inner victory. So is there anyone who would like to share what came up for you in last night's reflection?
Hi, I'm Lakshmi. I like the sun coming shining through the darkest clouds, so there's hope for you.
Yeah,
That's how I took it. I don't know whether
right.
there's always hope when there are difficulties, challenges in life you're facing. There's always hope for you. Yeah, thank you.
Lovely. Great, great. Yeah, anybody
Um,
else? Yeah,
Om
go ahead.
Shanti, Om Shanti Pratibha Ben. I chose the guy I think was mountain climbing,
Hmm.
and I could see this. I think the sky in the background. For me, it made me feel that I could that we had to jump many hurdles and overcome anything, and we also have like nature on our side to spur us on. And by looking at the sky, I feel I'm like this part of this great cosmos, and that I have so much of greatness inside of me that I just need to dig deeper to find all the hidden gems that I find, and I
Hmm.
can be spurned on by the calmness of nature.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to know that, yes, although we have sometimes huge hurdles to cross, but we supported, and the universe will support us in a way. I think one of the biggest things to always know that I'm never alone. There's always love that will support me and surround me. And sometimes just reminding myself of that is very important. Good. Okay, so I'm going to ask Nita to open up to the journal, what we're going to reflect on today. So today we're going to do a timeline. We're going to look at our year, and we're going to see that um, what we're going to do is really take some time on reflecting on 2021. And I want you to just, take your time in just reflecting on significant moments in your year. And I think, one aspect that's very important when we do this kind of reflection work, because um, in order for us to let go and release, I shared earlier that we need to extract the lesson. And in order for us to extract the lesson that that moment has offered us, because the purpose of reflection is to gain insights. And so, in order to gain the insight that that moment offers me, I have to see that with a particular attitude internally. And that attitude is the attitude of being the observer. It's a very powerful practice to always emerge and strengthen within oneself. And that is to know that I, the living being, the soul, I'm playing my part. This world is like a stage, it's a drama, and I'm playing my part. And as I begin to observe this drama unfolding around me, number one. And number two, I need to begin to observe that irrespective of what is occurring within the drama, what am I creating in my internal drama? So when we're going to observe, just firstly, just highlight key events for yourself, significant moments in your year, and then take a moment a little bit deeper and to say that what insights do these moments offer me? And when we look at it as a observer, as a detached observer, rather than letting the event getting too involved in the emotion of the event, when I observe it as a observer, as a detached observer, then that emotional space that is created enables me to actually see the meaning that that moment offers for me, and that's very important. And then that enables me to draw the insight that I need, so that I stop remembering the detail, but I remember the lesson, and the lesson becomes a foundation for me. A lovely analogy, and why this practice of detachment is important. The analogy is that, if you want to extract pure lavender oil, even if you want just 10 mils of pure lavender oil, you need to extract from maybe a ton of lavender flowers to get that 10 mils of lavender oil. And so, to know that what happens a lot of the times, we get caught in the detail. And it's not about going into the detail, but it's stepping above and then observing those events that held significance for me, and then to see what is the lesson, what is the gem that that event offered me. And to write that down, to journal that, to see how that is shifting things inside of you and molding things inside of you, taking you to where you want to be, where you need to be. So 2021 has been a year where you've created a foundation, and that foundation is to take us further. So that's what we're going to do for today. As you look into the timeline and see what are the gems that you are to extract from that timeline, and where is it that you want to go. And I love this quotation from Dadi. Time is saying to me, live and make the most of every moment. And so when I draw the gem, the essence of what that moment had to offer me, then it makes this moment very precious as well. And so to keep these gems that are emerging for me like a companion in a way to help me navigate the next moment. And I think one other aspect that emerges very powerfully when I begin to draw the insights from what I have taken from my last year is also then to see what has supported me in drawing those insights, and to know that these insights in a way are carrying me into the next year, that these deeper experiences that I've had is opening up new avenues and new opportunities for me for the new year. And so in a way, to feel that I'm carrying myself into the new year with a deeper support, with a deeper wisdom, with deeper love. So look at the insights you've drawn and see how they can shift attitude for you to love. Sorry. And carry that with you as you move forward. So I'd like to leave a little space. If you have any questions, Anita, would you like to flip the page for the next of the journal. So yes, going back to the beginning of 2021, what were the stirrings in your soul? What were your feelings for the rest of the year ahead? So when we started 2021, there was something that was moving in us. And so reflect on those and then see the events that occurred, the significant events that occurred during your year, how those reflected back to what you felt was being stirred for you in the year. What were your key insights and learnings for yourself as the year unfolded? So, yes, anyone has any questions, and I'm going to also invite the team if they would like to add anything to this morning's practice for today. One of the things that I feel is important as we do this process is that as we begin to see what was being stirred in me, and then to reflect on the events and how what insights they offer me, is to help me to clear any residue that I may be holding within me. And when I talk of residue, it's really sometimes without realizing, we trap emotions inside of us without really realizing that that's what we are doing. You know, we go through a moment in experience, and many times we haven't given ourselves time to allow for deep acceptance. Because one lesson I learned was that you can't let go without first accepting. So as I reflect on it and as I draw the insight, it is also part of acceptance of what is, acceptance of the story. And I think very important is not to get attached to the story. It's a story that's unfolding. It's a story that has its meaning and its purpose, but it doesn't define me. So I draw the insight of it, and key thing is through the acceptance, it allows me to let go of the emotion behind it. Because many times what happens is we hold on to the emotion, and then that emotion then begins to influence me a lot. Many times creating fear. And it is often fear that doesn't allow us to move forward, and it's the fear of the experience repeating that many times limit us in the present as well. So acceptance of the moment, of the experience in that moment, drawing the insight, and then it enables me to let go of the detail. But in letting go of the detail, I also let go of the emotion, and that then gives me space then to actually approach the next moment, approach the new year with a clarity. So it's almost like cleaning the slate of my mind, cleaning my chit, cleaning my memory track of the residue of emotion that I tend to carry. Because as I clear my chit of that, then it opens me and allows me and offers me opportunity to move forward in that regard. Okay, so those were some thoughts in terms of working through this exercise and enjoying this a few moments of calm and quiet to just draw what you find is going to be an insight that you draw from your year 2021. And I think what I like to always or what it triggers for me or emerges for me is to know that how I am supported in my learning. That my learning and my journey is not in isolation of a bigger picture unfolding, but that I'm supported by God in my learning, because these insights show me in a way that how there is that compassionate love of the divine that is gently steering me in the direction that I need to go, so that I can return to my own fullness and authentic self. Okay, great. So if there are questions, please feel free to put them in the chat, or you can unmute yourself. Otherwise, we'll end off this morning with a short meditation again. So I invite you to take a deep breath and allow yourself to come to a inner place of quietness. Just observing the stillness in this image helps me to connect with the stillness within me. When I become still, then like the waters of that clear pond, I can see more clearly. Just taking this moment to step away from the detail and to just lift my awareness, lift my vision above. Helps me to see beauty. And as I observe this beauty, it awakens in me love. Love connects me with my true essence. Love connects me with all life. Love connects me with the divine. And in that experience of love, I feel supported. And I feel the deepest wisdom within my being emerging. And the heart is filled with joy. So as I give myself this moment of stillness, I I allow love and joy and connectedness to emerge. And this moment becomes sacred. Thank you. Om Shanti. There are a few questions that have come up, and one is, well, you can work with the document in two ways. If you have an Adobe editor, then you could edit it directly onto the document like that, or you could just print it out and write on the document itself, whatever you prefer. You could do it like that. And yes, I think people have been asking for the link for this morning's session for the recording. You may go onto our YouTube channel, South African YouTube channel, and you will find the recording there. Okay, thank you all, and enjoy this time of reflection and see what it is emerging for you. Nita has put the link on for the recording, so it's in the chat as well, so you can pick it up from there. So yes, take this moment of stillness and enjoy, and discover that sense of beauty that has emerged and that is emerging for you. Thank you. Om Shanti, and have a lovely day. Shanti.
I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am stronger every moment, every day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and let spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's real and pure and free, as I continue walking in this mystery. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am grateful every moment, every day. There may be walls, there may be roadblocks in my way, but I can choose to take a higher path each day. And now I know that what I thought was safe and sound was only habit and regret that held me down. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am kinder every moment, every day, and I'm more loving every moment, every day. I will surrender every moment,